From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. On this episode,
business leaders and investors are frequent visitors to our community, often tied to sporting events, conferences, expos. During last season's All-Star event, we had a chance to talk with James Seth Thompson, the Senior National Director of Diverse and Multicultural Wealth for BERNSTEIN Private Wealth Management.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com. This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Access to capital.
My name is James Seth Thompson. I am Senior Vice President and Head of Diverse and Multicultural Wealth Segments at BERNSTEIN Private Wealth Management. I have the opportunity of being here in Indianapolis just to be part of the ecosystem and environment around really supporting, Black and brown business owners and startups. Really trying to bring whatever education and knowledge I have to help address the gaps that might exist for people along their journey. From what I see as someone who's not from Indiana is the events like this are the right things, right? I think having a diverse room of individuals, of people who may be in need of the advice, but definitely being in a room of people who have the advice and sometimes don't know how and where to give it, I think you're on the right track, right? I think the best thing that happens in cities all around the country is just to make sure that there's a spirit of intentionality, right? Where everyone is in a room, be very intentional about the needs, the asks, the opportunities, and the successes, and making sure that there's a takeaway, right? I always talk about not everyone has the same amount to give, but everyone has something to give. And whatever it is that you can give will be very beneficial to building the right ecosystem in places like Indianapolis. There's a level of vulnerability that needs to be there. Not everyone's gonna have the right answer. Typically in my world of like the wealth management space, the intel tends to stay within the family, right? But if you are a first generation wealth creator, if you're in this position for the first time, you don't have this kind of trickle down experience that's gonna help inform. So I think a level of transparency and vulnerability goes a long way. And if everyone acts in the same way, right, then we're able to kind of open up the aperture and really address those things. But historically, when I think about financial services in general, and look, opportunity and success and money and creation and wealth, it looks different now, right? So we just really have to open that up, be very vulnerable, and extend ourselves the best way possible. I often think that there's a hierarchy that exists everywhere, right? There's an expectation of what senior people may have that is a disconnect between what people experience who may not be at those levels, right? The gap really is delegation, right? So if you think about it, there are always people who are put in place to close the gap, but we have to make sure those folks who are intended to close the gap have the information and resources and the want to do it. So folks who are in that position and don't want to be in that position, don't be in that position, right? We need to find the delegators, the delegates, those who are intended to close the gap, to make sure they feel confident that they can act to close the gap between what people expect and what people experience. I get to marry something I'm passionate about with my profession, right? The fact that I can be here in Indianapolis with a great organization that's close to our family, the Sagamore Institute, and extend myself in a very meaningful way, I think is like the best part, right? I don't know if people always have the opportunity to marry their passion and profession, but I certainly do.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, BEOshow.com. You can watch Business, Equity, and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week, we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is BEO@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunity Show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at BEOshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.